Hi guys, Billie Jean here. So, over the last few months, I know you guys have seen me with my mace. I've been training, I'm learning, I'm getting good with this thing. But I've been getting asked a lot of questions. Main question is, what is this for? So today I have the 5 best reasons why you should train with a steel mace. Now it's really actually 6, but I'm gonna call it 5 and a bonus because I like saying the word bonus. So let's get into it. Why you should train with a steel mace. Number 1. According to the National Academy of Sports Medicine, at least 21% of the population suffers from shoulder injuries, with 41% of the population experiencing shoulder pain that lasts over years. So I would have to say the shoulder is one of the most unstable, weak, prone to injury areas of the body. So what we have to do is make sure, like if you're an athlete like myself, you have to make sure that you're always making sure this shoulder is stable and strong. Training with this steel mace here will give you full range of motion and other types of movements that you're not going to really get with your standard barbell here. Now watch this. You go to the gym. What do you see people doing? Oh, today's shoulder day. Great. That's it. Oh, okay. What else are you going to do for shoulders? I'm going to turn this way and do it. That's the extent of shoulders. But with the steel mace here, as you can see, 360s, all around movement, full range of motion. Bring this thing all the way back over your head. Bring it forward chops. So you're moving your shoulder like never before. You're going to have stronger, more stable shoulders. And the name of the game is injury prevention. So if you're someone who's coming back from a shoulder injury, if you had one before, you just don't want to get one, I would suggest you incorporate steel mace training in your program. The second reason why you should train with a steel mace. Okay, so the second reason I would suggest people incorporate steel mace training into their regimen is shoulder stability. Now you may think, isn't that the same as shoulder strength? Not exactly. Shoulder stability has to do with your stabilizers muscle. Shoulder stability has to do with your stabilization muscles. You know, I'm not even going to edit that out. Stabilization muscles. So now what do we have in our shoulder other than, of course, our deltoids, our prime movers? What we have? Rotator cuff. Those 4 little just moody muscles that want to snap and tear and pull whenever they feel like it. So what I would suggest anyone who has an injury or wants to come back from an injury or prevent an injury, steel mace training. You're going to be getting so much more range of motion. You're moving that shoulder in all 360 degrees, which your shoulder is made for. Your shoulder is not just made for sagittal plane. When you get to the gym, like I said, what do you see all day? This. And you may once in a while see some of the frontal plane movement, but you never see those 360 movements with people moving their shoulders the way they are. So now here's your big athlete coming to the gym. You know, he's so big and buff. He's going to do a clean and, oh my gosh, my shoulder. Why? His shoulder went out. Of course, he's so strong, he can lift that weight over his head, but he hasn't been taking care of it with his stability, his stabilization muscles. So I would suggest you incorporate, look at this. I would say incorporate steel mace training, even if you don't want to do it as like your main workout. You know, it's like, it could be toward the end of your shoulder day or just on your rehab days or your recovery days. You know, add a little steel mace training, switch it up a little, okay? So that is number 2. Let's look at number 3. Back with number 3. Okay, so number 3 would have to be grip strength. These are my 2 maybes right here. This is my 5-pound, this is my 10-pound. This one is much thicker, so let's use this one for the demonstration. Your grip strength pretty much is your forearm, wrist, and your hands. So what you want to think about is every time you're holding on to this thing, whether you're ripping it, pulling it apart, crushing it, squeeze it together, whether you're doing 360s, 10 and 2s, whether you're doing prayer transitions, whatever you're doing, you've got your hands squeezed tightly around this. I'm trying not to make a joke here, but you've got your hands tightly squeezed around the bar. That's going to improve your grip strength. Like here, your brachioradialis, big words, brachioradialis, these muscles here are going to be constantly activated. So it doesn't look like, you can't really see it right now, but I'm really gripping this thing. So when I go into prayer transition, grip, strength, prayer transition, crush, rip, okay? So I would say my 3rd most important benefit of working with the steel mace has to be the grip strength. Look at this thing, you know. So if you got that big jar of pickles in your house or that big mayonnaise, you just walk over to that thing, open it. You don't need nobody to open your jars for you no more. Number 3, let's get to Number 4. Okay, so when we are doing steel mace training, one thing we are doing is moving in all 3 planes of motions. What are the 3 planes of motion? Sagittal, forward movements, frontal, side movements, but transverse movements are what you hardly ever see athletes do. And for me, in my experience when I was in the gym, the only time I ever saw anyone doing any type of movement in the transverse plane when they was on the ground, rushing twist, gotta have abs. But then that's it. Now, when you are doing any type of transverse or rotational movements, where's that movement coming from? Your core. And what is the core? The foundation of our body and all of our movement. So you want to train that. You want to train it often and not just when you're trying to get a 6-pack of abs, because all of your movements from throwing a pitch, from kicking, it starts from here. You have to generate that energy from here and let it translate throughout the rest of your body. So with your steel mace, what are you doing? You're not just moving in the sagittal plane. You're not just moving in the frontal plane. You're moving in transverse plane. You're rotating with this thing, constantly rotating, constantly moving, all 3 planes of motion. And if you're going to be a well-conditioned, well-rounded athlete, you want to have strength in your frontal, sagittal, and as well as the transverse plane. Believe me, it's not just for doing abs, okay? You want to rotate your body as much as you can. That's where injuries happen most of the time, or through the rotational movements, because your body is not stable enough to handle. Like, you know, you're going, you turn around, oh, my knee gave out, because your body wasn't ready for that swift turn. So with the steel mace training, what I've been noticing, rotate, you know, everything you do, spin, rotate. So that would have to be number 4. What comes after 4? Number 5. Number 5, the thing that we all hate the most, cardio. Literally, if you spend maybe 30 minutes, even if you're just standing there doing 360s, I'm telling you, you're going to be drenched in sweat. You're going to feel like you were on the treadmill for a half an hour. And that's not even adding the lunges and all of the arrows and all of the other movements that you do with this thing here. So I would say I've been doing HIIT classes for maybe, I would say a month. I've been doing steel mace HIIT. Unlike everything I've ever done before, because you can do your body weight HIIT, your jump squats, your lunges. When you add this baby in there, takes your cardio to a whole nother level. And for those people like me who absolutely hate cardio, like standing on a treadmill or on a bike, that's like going to a dentist with no Novocaine or anything like that. That's horrible for me. So when I'm doing this, I'm noticing I'm so focused on my movements that I don't realize, hey, it's been a half hour and I've been doing squats and lunges and jumping with this thing and I don't even notice it, because I'm like, oh wow, get the movement right, Oh, guess what? You just did 50 lunges, you know? And it's like, wait a minute. That's like cardio, especially when you're doing it rapid stretches. You know, 10 seconds off, 30 seconds on. There it is. You do that for 30 minutes. That's your cardio. So you don't have to necessarily spend all that time on the treadmill, being bored, looking at the TV at the gym with no sound. You know, you don't want to do that. So you definitely want to incorporate the steel mace for your cardio. Now, let's get to the bonus. So I have to get a little serious here right now. Put on my professional voice, NASM trained, certified wellness professional. I would say that the bonus benefit of working with a steel mace is, let me see, how can I put this nicely, or that way you can understand? I don't want to use the big words from the book. Let me see. Oh, I got it. Because it looks fucking badass. That's right. That was the main reason why I got into steel mace training, because I saw someone doing it and he was moving like almost like a dragon. You know, he was doing all of these insane movements and he had the stick and he's flipping it around. I'm like, what the hell is that? Why am I in the gym throwing the ball around or punching a bag or why don't I do something cool like that? That looks freaking cool. So definitely, if you want to catch someone's eye, go to the park, take out your steel mace and start doing a little mace flow. They'll be like, hey, that person looks cool. Hey, that's great. Now, no, we don't always have to care about what people think, but this looks awesome. It's fun. You're going to feel like a boss when you do it. I was just like, oh, I felt like Jackie Chan almost. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm ready, you know? So, yeah, steel mace training, it works. It's not just for looking cool, but it definitely looks cool. So, I would recommend anyone who's looking to be well-rounded, supremely conditioned. You don't want to just have, you know, an area of strength where you're good. And you don't want to just be strong in powerlifting, but you can't do pull-ups. You don't want to be someone who can do pull-ups, but can't touch their elbows together, which is something I just recently learned how to do, is make my elbows touch, you know. So functional training is what you want. This is the epitome of functional training. I suggest everyone get a steel mace. Now, you don't know where to get a steel mace? If there was only someone I knew who had an extra mace, who might be getting ready to give one away. I guess you'll just have to stay tuned for that right there. All right, I'm Billie Jean. I'm gonna go do some flow. I'm in the trap, and I'm out of here.
It's more than a stunt. Niggas kicking flows that's more raw than this blunt. Get the Porsche if you want, floss if you want. Difference is the trunk, one's in back, one's in the front. Used to kicking doors, get the strap, ball once a month. Now we taking flights, kicking back, all off a hunch. That's 100 racks, all off a punch. I'm a fucking boss, get you whacked or get you crunched. I could show you how to do this Sachi with this babe shit. Or tell you why them new beams got a facelift. Cuzzo like, yo, them fiends gotta taste this. After that, coming through clean in them spaceships. After that, running through Queens on some 8 shit. New Rollie, few rings, couple bracelets. Plain Jane, two-tone AP, kept it basic. Engine in the coupe, shake the block like when the bass kick. That's why they hate this, right?